Low Targar friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for another orca mode workout, and today was glutes and hamstrings. Now, of course, I did do some calves and abs in here because I think, well, I'll get to that when we get to that point in the vlog. All right, let's get right over what we were doing. I started to warm up. I put 405 on the bar to start warming up for deadlifts, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling deadlifts today. And I feel like me deadlifting heavy every single week may not be ideal. It might be a case to where I come in every couple weeks, maybe even once a month, and do some heavy pulling. Because again, it does create a lot of fatigue. And it would be different if I was a weak deadlifter. But I mean, I literally do rep work with 5 plates, okay? And I can do that beltless and stuff. So it just beats me up. And I'm like, well, let's just pick a close alternative. Let's just do an RDL. Because I was going to do good mornings today anyways. So I threw 315 on. I'm like, let me just see if I can get 10s. I've gotten 12s previously, so I could build up to that a little bit. But yeah, I just did them on the deadlift bar, so it's a little easier to grip. Of course, that bar is aggressive on the knurl. And just went for a good burn, a good pump. Hamstrings were pretty well lit up from doing this. They felt really good, putting them into that stretch position. And overall, pretty happy with the exercise today. And I do like RDLs. So, but the thing is, right now I have increased volume. I am training 5 days a week. I do need to think in terms of recovery. So I think the heavy deadlifts are something I'm just going to do when I'm really in the mood to do it. I don't think I need to do them every week. And I've shown before, I don't have to really deadlift heavy to have a big deadlift. And at the end of the day, with a lot of this stuff, I need to be thinking in terms of body composition, body composition. That is what we're doing. We're bodybuilding at the moment. And I already know if my posterior chain and back make any gains at all, my deadlift stays good, okay? It stays good. Like I've even considered, other than I like supersetting those chin-ups, I've even considered starting my press days with the incline and then going to flat bench. Again, something I wouldn't normally recommend, but I may not do that either. I think I may just pull out the the reverse grip bench because I feel like my incline being that deep in the workout is really hurting it. But back over to the point. Let's get to this workout. All right, these good mornings looked awful. They were trash. I did one plate, threw a second plate on, and did a set. This is way too squatty. As a coach, if one of my lifters sent me this, I would be like, reduce the weight, get the bar further down your back, get your upper back into better extension. Quit squatting it up. Stop it. That's what I would say as a coach. Bad. So, coach myself, because I filmed it and looked at it. I'm looking at these sets as I go in between. That's how I avoid surfing the phone. I look at my sets in between while I'm doing this stuff. All right, I went down to 185. I'm like, well, let's do these super strict. Much, much, much better. Okay, much better. Felt way more hamstring. Okay, felt way more hamstring. Felt less back. Even though technically we're putting the back into a deeper angle, we've got less weight on that lever. This felt good. I could build up from here. Keeping in mind, I have done over 500 pounds on a good morning max when I push this lift a lot. Like this is one of those lifts that if I just hammer this 185 is going to turn into 315 for sets of 10 with this same form. But it's one of those where I probably need to build it back up that way. And that alone will increase my deadlift. Okay. I can tell you absolute certainty if I build that up to where I'm doing sets of 10 with 315, if I haven't done a deadlift in 3 months, I'll walk in and pull over 600. Okay. With no practice. But again, these are a lot better. Also, note we're beltless and we're just kind of letting it all hang out. I feel like the loose skin, look at that, the loose skin in the low back is tightening up. Diet is working. So, you know, we can just kind of watch this real time at this point. I think that'll be, you know, a valuable tool. And I'm not even going to discuss what I'm doing with my diet at the moment. Right? I discussed what I was doing for a while. Now I'm just going to run with it. And as I continue to get leaner, I can discuss the strategy involved here. Because yeah, definitely, I had picked up a bunch of water weight with what I was doing, and that water weight disappeared within a week. I'm back under 220 now. And I didn't post it, but yeah, when the carbs were at their highest, I had popped back up to like 228. for a very short period of time, and that's why I was looking so boofy. But I'm back down to 219 this morning, 219 on the dot, or 99.5 kg. I weigh in kilograms. Mainly because of the strength sport background, because that's what I would have to weigh in at anyways. All right. So 3 sets of 10 on that, and then we went over to the glute ham raises. And these I got weaker on every single set. This is where the fatigue is accumulating, right? Because all those are like, oh, you had at least a rep in reserve on all those others. I did. These I pushed them, but I got like 12, 10, and 6. I'm just calling it on the paper 3 sets of 10, but I was failing on the second 2 sets. Also, I'm like, let's do some calf raises between. All right, I don't like this tall plate. I know it puts a better stretch, but it's a balancing issue, and I feel like it's throwing me off too much to justify it. So I went back down to a thinner plate for this, and I think what I'm going to do, if I'm up for it and not feeling too tired, I'm just going to do calves on both of my lower days, because I have my normal leg day, which is really a quad day. I mean, what would it be, quads and glutes? This is glutes and hamstrings. So my leg day, I'll probably do calf raises too. Not that I even need them, but what have I said? If we're gonna bodybuild, we need to work every muscle, right? We don't leave anything off the table. And I would say every angle of every muscle, but I just don't have a setup for a seated calf raise. Although I would argue, I think squats actually do a decent job of replacing a seated calf raise in theory. I don't have one, and it's too much trouble to set one up. It was just really problematic and ridiculous. And even the heaviest weights I could get into position, I was doing like up to 50 reps. Come on, it's getting stupid at that point. But if I have to, I may do that. But I feel like just these barbell calf raises will probably make my calves grow if I'm consistent with them. Not that I even need that much calf development. This is what my calves look like really without training them directly, because they didn't really change much in the time I was training directly. But I mean, I figure if I do it for a year, they might. So we did, these ended up being like sets of 15 once I went to this thinner plate. And I just supersetted these between the glute ham raises. All right. But yeah, so the name of the game still at this point, bring my arms up, bring my delts up, tighten that waistline up. But obviously we train everything. We're going to train everything. But I feel like the muscles that are lagging because I'm giving them some high priority anyways. And because they're lagging, they probably have the most room for growth. Right? Because keep in mind, it was historically the way I trained for years. I have big lats because I did tons of rowing and pull-ups and all that stuff religiously for years and years and years and years. Right? Didn't always curl religiously for years and years. Interesting, I haven't done calf raises. I'll see what happens maybe if I just stick these out and really push calf raises hard too, or my calves will grow. But you guys know the game plan here. But yeah, the glute ham raises, I failed on like rep 6. I failed on that rep, on that last one. But that was my 9th set of direct hamstring work, or hamstring and glute work. So the hamstrings were just, that's all they had. And again, we're getting that second position by doing that. Everything else is a hinge, but then we have that one deflection exercise for 3 hard sets. Again, helps with the lower insertions the most based upon the data. I'm not even going to talk about what heads on EMGs. Let's talk about the hypertrophy studies. Hip hinges work the upper 2/3 more. That's just what seems to grow more. Anything with a knee flexion helps with the bottom third the most. That's where the muscle growth occurs. So hitting all of it. Of course, this ends up being a hip hinge also, but it's a glute and low back exercise. Here's what I did. I'm like, this is, approximately 25% of what I squat these days. I know my squat's way down, but we're bringing the legs back up. And it's what I was doing for one leg extension. I'm like, well, let's just throw it on and program it like we would a high rep thing. That way I don't have to change weights around. I just leave it there. So I just did 25 reps, and they were hard to get to. They were burning my low back. Everything was on fire by rep 25. Actually, by rep 15. I felt like I wasn't even going to be able to get the 25. So then I superset it between those, my hanging leg raises. All right, I'm doing these every workout. I'm doing 2 sets of these at the end of every single workout. If I can, I'll superset it in with other stuff like I did yesterday and today. I need the ab work. I need the grip work. I need the extra shoulder mobility. It gives me a dead hang that I pull into over and over. Okay, so just like I'm keeping the pullovers in, I feel like that's going to help me with that overhead flexibility because I lack that big time. It's a major, major weakness for me. And I've tried a lot of things to correct it, and I feel like I'm just going to have to be consistent with stuff like that. So we're really killing multiple birds, 2 birds with 1 stone there, because it helps with that. And then we get the grip work, the extra grip work. So when I'm doing those, I don't even need to worry about grip between that and all my pulling, or even forearms. I don't even need to think about forearms more. I'm getting, my forearms are already pretty good size, and I'm getting all this pulling and grip work. But I need the ab work because I've decided, look, I'm going to go beltless on everything. I really struggle with squatting without a belt right now. I need my abs stronger. I need my core stronger. Hanging leg raise is an amazing squat accessory. So let's just get my abs stronger. And all of this core work, I'm hoping, will help tighten up the waistline as I continue to get leaner and try to get rid of some of the loose skin. And I know people say you can't spot reduce. It's not about that. And there has been data that working muscles in a certain way, that actually, I've seen some data on that whole idea may not be fully true. And it's not that you're doing it during the time you're training it, it's that we build extra capillary beds around, say, the abdominal area that may help remove fat faster later during other times. And it's hypothetical, but I've seen some researchers point that out. But if nothing else, though, it still makes my abs bigger and thicker, so as I get leaner, I'll have a deeper six-pack. But overall, very happy with today's workout. My 2 toughest workouts are the first 2, and then, of course, also the leg day on Friday. My next 2 workouts are a little easier because they're just my weak points, shoulders and arms. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. Hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.